Hey, what's up, people? How we doing? What's up? Oh, it feels good to be back. How are we doing? I know I haven't been live. I've been slacking, but I haven't really been slacking because I've been doing premieres. And does anyone catch Judge Bryant? I just want to say thank you for the prayers. I always had said God bless from the beginning. I am not as religious as I should be, but I know there was definitely a plan, her calling me out that day, and then this whole thing happened. And she's given everybody their due. I mean, everybody is. I mean, for those other creators that I wouldn't be here for those in the beginning. And on that note, why do other creators have the balls to come on to my uploads and write comments? Not, hey, good job. Hey, this wasn't that funny. Hey, this isn't a Karen. Sound is off. Your mic is bad. No, I'm never going to drop names, but this certain creator had to come on one of my videos and said, I would never write anything, upload anything from this judge because this person has come such a long way and I would never make fun of this person, and I have several opportunities to show this video but I never would. So what about every other court proceeding where you make fun of defendants and do everything I do and don't say you don't because I learned from you? So who are you to come on and make me have to remove a comment because what did I ever do to you? What have I ever done in the last 6 months that I started to ever badmouth anyone? If anything, I gave everyone their due. When certain creator got their 100K, first thing I did, great job. Don't hold any contempt for them at all. But to come and do that to me makes me disgusted. There's no reason to do it. I don't do anything to you. I just hang out with my community. I keep to my business and I do my thing. Don't call anybody out. And if I do, so be it. Because now you deserve it. Why do I have to be like that? This is a great community. So please stay off my page and keep the comments to yourself. Thank you. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, that gavel sounds good. Order in the court. Oh, and that had nothing to do with Judge Bryant. Nothing to do with Judge Bryant. It was a totally separate case, totally separate judge, and it's disgusting. Thank you, Daylight. Where has he been? I just want to say thank you for the gavel. All right, I'm not showing Charles Manson. This is the girl that came after him. The girl that came after him is fantastic. Let's get going. Talk about, I think she's like a Kardashian. Like, how dare you, judge? Ask me about my personal information. Literally, that's how she talks. Let's roll. Oh, let's start showing some comments. I just had to get on my soapbox. I'm sorry, guys. You know I don't do that, but I had to. I have been doing it a lot lately, actually.
Okay. This is case number 3A0110097. This is on for pretrial, and Ms. Liu.
Peep.
What's happening on this case?
Thank you, Your Honor. In this matter, I am raising 1077 at this time. And then my observations or my reasoning behind that is included in the document on court.
Okay, I'm just gonna, Ms. Kuster, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, okay?
Okay.
Do you know why you're in custody?
No, disorderly conduct.
That's the charge.
Mhm.
Did you talk to Ms. Liu about you thought someone was following you?
Oh, no, I've just been bothered honestly by the Seattle PD and the court system for quite some time, harassed daily, for the most part. If not by, it's been quite a bit and overwhelming and extremely overbearing and extremely uncomfortable. So I'm doing the best that I can. Like, I don't really have too many. I checked into like a homeless shelter just the other day. And they had checked me out the next day. Prior to that, I've gone to every other place.
Let me stop you for just a second.
Yeah,
So, do you know what Ms. Liu's role is?
I don't know.
Do you know what my role is in these proceedings as the
You-
judge?
You make the call, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know what your options are in terms of resolving this case?
I do not. I had spoken to a officer about 4 days ago, and they said that this charge was nothing major, and that he wasn't, because I don't know exactly why.
Well, in terms of what decisions you would need to make. So you can go to trial or you could plead guilty, right? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Have you ever been through a jury trial before?
Yeah, I don't quite understand what I would plead guilty for due to the fact that I've not done anything wrong. So yeah.
All right. So if you went to trial, which is your constitutional right, do you know what happens at trial? Can you tell me any part of a jury trial?
No, I mean, no, I don't know. I'm not really like, I'm not a criminal, so I don't know exactly if you are guilty or not. No, I can't tell. I couldn't tell you, no.
All right.
I don't read into the law like that.
What's your level of education? Your highest level,
High school.
right? And where were you living before you were arrested?
What does that have to do with anything that has to do with my trial or my court hearing?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I guess, have you ever been engaged in any mental health treatment?
That's a fair point. I mean, it really makes no sense to ask that. I mean, she's got a point. It's just her delivery. Ugh.
Actually, my sister is a
Thanks, Toby.
psychologist at
My man.
4.0
What's up, buddy?
Washington State University. So, and I have spoke to various resources, and I do not have a mental disorder. Yeah, but no, yes and no. I don't have I've seen a like a behavioral therapist, and they send me on my way because I don't have a problem.
Okay, and I didn't mean by the questions to suggest that you do. It's just that your attorney is requesting that you have an evaluation to determine whether you understand the nature of the charges and you're able to assist your attorney in resolving this case. So that's why I'm asking some of these questions. I don't intend in any respect to embarrass you or suggest anything by my question. So if I offended you in any way, I'm
Oh, no. I'm telling you right now, the person who commented was not Mike. No. I was just saying he's the guy that I thanked. He has nothing to do with this. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was not him.
I'm very sorry. But I want to be sure that I am making the right decisions here, okay? Let's see. And have you lived in Washington your whole life?
Again, I do not feel the need to explain anything personal about my personal life.
All right, that's
in
fair enough.
regards to my trial or whatever this is, you know?
All right, that's fair enough. And just let me talk to the attorneys for a moment now. And the reason that I asked that question is just that I am looking, it looks like she has a case out of Federal Way that is pending, that is in warrant status. That warrant was issued on April 6th. And let me see.
Your Honor, I searched the Seattle Muni website or their portal, and I didn't see that she has any cases pending in Seattle. So I don't know what the nature of her contact with Seattle PD has been, but it apparently is not criminal so far.
Was this the first time that you met with her today, Ms. Liu?
Today was the first time. My office has had other interactions with her, I think on the Federal Way matter, actually. I think we're assigned to that case.
All right. And was there discussion in the course of the Federal Way case of seeking an evaluation?
So the last notes that I have from my office come from 2022, where there was a discussion about it, but competency ultimately was not raised at that time. So that would have been a year ago.
I see.
Yeah.
You know, I think that her answers today, with the exception of the fact that she's not sure what happens at a jury trial, but that is somewhat understandable based on her lack of any significant history. She's also taking issue with some of the questions that I'm asking, which certainly is within her right. So I'm going to deny the motion today. I would ask perhaps, Ms. Liu, if one of your attorneys could, you know, maybe outside of court, if you haven't already, spend a little more time with her and determine, you know, whether or how she wants to proceed on this case. And I can just do a brief set over on this. So let's see. I could set this over to Monday. And the time between now and Monday, unless you have an objection, would be an excluded period until we determine whether or not we actually need an evaluation. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I guess my point of view would be only if 1077 was raised and we decided upon an order that we'd have an excluded period. So I'm asking that between now and Monday not be excluded.
Well, actually, it's the weekend anyway. So although I guess that would count in terms of calculating speedy trial, but they're not court days. Do you have any objection to not excluding between now and Monday?
It's a good question, Your Honor. The city was going to request that bail be maintained anyway.
Yeah.
It is just a short set over anyway. I suppose
All right, so we won't do anything with speedy trial. I mean, the fact is that competency has been raised. I didn't sign the order, but it's been raised. And I guess at this point, it is pending. If you come back on Monday and you have the same concerns, then I'm likely to sign that order. So that being the case, I think it will just be told at this point because it has not definitively been resolved. What was the amount of bail in this? It was
$3,000, Your Honor.
Okay.
Look at her. Yeah, I shouldn't be here. Disorderly. She was definitely F you, cop. Fuck you, copper. No, I won't tell you where I live. None of your goddamn business. And the guy in the top in the orange shirt, he was there for the Charles Manson guy. He has been so happy. I don't think he speaks any English. There's his interpreter for him, but he had a show and a half the last hour in Lakewood.
Okay, I've signed that order. So, Ms. Kuster, we will see you back on Monday, okay?
Okay.
You can go ahead and step out. Thank you very much.
And I love Judge Leone. Toby, best place for a tomato pie in my area probably has to be La Sicilia in Belleville or Mr. Bruno's in Clifton. Look them up. Awesome. Portnoy's been to both of them. Portnoy gave them very good ratings. Okay. Oh, who's an official nerd? Heather! Welcome to the Nerd Herd. What's up? All right, here we go. They revived the honeymooners in the DDC, the Three Stooges in the DDC this morning. It is a more diverse version of the Three Stooges.
Nyang, nyang, nyang. I have spoken with their attorney. She's ready to proceed. And just give me one moment.
Thank you.
Okay.
This is the judge that went nuts in our video before. Whew.
So you're on this one.
Which
With helping both of these defendants were going.
it's just one defendant, I believe. Hold on one second.
This judge likes to get up a lot. He gets up a lot. I think it's alone. There's no court clerk.
Oh, wait a minute.
This poor judge. Look at him.
Both of those people.
Yes. Both of
When have you seen a poor judge have to get up and get his own stuff? This poor
Both
guy.
Are going. He got them in custody.
Yes, somebody.
Uh,
But where did the courtroom not fix their No, that's not my chirping. That I don't know. Maybe the lawyer, because it's definitely not the jail and wouldn't be the courtroom. It's got to be the lawyer. It's definitely not me. No, not me chirping. I hate that noise. My dog goes crazy, so I always change the batteries.
I assume so.
It's the jail chirping. I don't think it's the jail.
No, this one, third one's not going.
So, but these two are.
These two are, yeah.
Okay.
The third person was not there.
Oh, that's so annoying. That's kind of.
All right. Thank you for your patience. We're going to start with the probable cause hearing, and then Ms. Medina will go into the arraignment. Officer, will you be testifying for the probable cause hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. It is Saturday, July 15, 2023, 12:21 p.m. Conduct a probable cause matter in the case of People of State of Michigan versus defendant number 1, Damila Latrice Smith, defendant number 2, Dwight Andrew Jerkowitz, and defendant number 3, Mario Darnay.
Who's Jerkowitz? Come on, that's not a real name. Jerkowitz?
As Clark. I apologize if I mispronounced anybody's name. All 3 are charged with home invasion, second degree. Officer, state your name for the record.
Joshua Smith.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give with the truth?
I do.
Will you be testifying based on personal knowledge and information or outside information?
Personal.
All right, proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. On July 13, 2023, at approximately 2:55 hours, River Police Officer Richmond Smothers and Sergeant McGee were dispatched to 391 Jenner Suite for a breaking and entering complaint. Officer Richmond made contact with complainant Miles, who was explained that she returned home to find her home being broken into and her television missing. Excuse me. Complainant Maines advised Officer Richmond she believed that her friend Mimi was involved in the incident. Officer Richmond located ring doorbell footage which captured defendant White Dwight pulling a green wagon.
I think it is the jail, because now he's talking, and that wasn't as pronounced. And then I heard the jail echo. I think the jail needs to change their smoke alarms. To be fair, that may be the office. It's the Rogue City Jail. Ugh, change the battery.
Walking with defendant Smith towards complaining Maine's residence with another unknown black male. On a different camera footage captured defendant Clark pushing in the wagon with a TV inside away from the complainant's residence. Defendant Smith, defendant Dwight, and the unknown black male walked behind defendant Clark. Defendant Clark called the police and confirmed that he had a TV in his possession and he was located at 94 East James Street. Officers made the location and found defendant Smith, defendant Dwight, defendant Clark, at which point in time they were arrested. Officers received the TV from complainant Miles' residence along with the wagon at their residence. Speaking with the complainant, she did not give anybody permission to enter her residence. This was sent to Wayne County for further review. Before you is my sign, signature, and date.
Okay. Just some follow-up questions.
Yes, sir.
Were the items recovered from the suspects belong to the complaining witness?
Correct, sir.
All right, and there's ring video of all three suspects coming in and out of the house. Is that correct?
Coming and going from the home, Your Honor.
Okay, and all this occurred in the city of River Rouge?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court satisfied that probable cause has been established. All right, Ms. Medina, with respect to arraignment.
Your Honor, I did have the opportunity to speak with each of these three individuals. So Crystal Marie Medina on behalf of Ms. Smith, Mr. Clark, and Mr. Jerkowitz. With regard to the arraignment, we would waive formal reading and stand mute, Your Honor. Each of these three individuals did give me permission to represent them today, Your Honor, for arraignment purposes only. We would waive formal reading, stand mute.
Okay, formal reading having been waived, not guilty plea be entered. Will all three of you state your name for the record?
Dwight Jerkowitz.
Jamila Latree Smith.
Mario Clark.
Okay. Give me one moment. All right. All right, formal reading having been waived, not guilty plea be entered as to all three defendants. Ms. Medina, argument as to bond.
Your Honor, with regard to Ms. Smith, with regard to each of the three individuals, Your Honor, we will be seeking a personal bond. In speaking with Ms. Smith, that we were able to establish that she maintains stable residence in River Rouge with her mother. She indicates she's a lifelong resident of Michigan. She is 43 years old with no criminal history. She's not currently on probation or parole. Your Honor, my understanding is that she is currently unemployed. She receives food stamps and she is unable to post a monetary bond. The designation of any monetary bond in this case would result in her continued incarceration. Of concern to us with that regard is that she does suffer from asthma and does require an inhaler at times, Your Honor. While I do understand this is a serious situation, Your Honor, I would ask that the court give Ms. Smith the opportunity to appear in court and address this matter. She understands she needs to do so.
Okay, one moment, Ms. Medina. This is your defendant one has no prior criminal history, at least for felony purposes. Any misdemeanors that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Okay, give me one moment, Ms. Medina.
Yes.
There he goes again, this poor judge. Someone in the chat was saying he's new, but I like him. I mean, he made a hell of a debut today. Yeah, I think she was going swimming, Heather. They were hitting up the community pool before they did a couple house invasions. Let's do a couple home invasions, ransack a couple homes, me and Jerkowitz, and then we'll go to the community pool. Hot out.
No, it wasn't on the phone.
It's poor judge. You got it, Richard.
Okay. Because it was only two.
Thank you.
So I had to write the third name. I can give you one. Listen.
Oh,
Yeah. So it wasn't with that? No. You know what the court did?
he's still there. I just skipped it like 3 minutes.
Separate sheets, so you want to do them all?
Quite all right, Your Honor. Quite all right.
There is somebody there, though. Look, there's somebody there. Why? Look. Why couldn't she get up? Why does the judge have to get up? How dare she? It's appalling.
But before we proceed, I got Corporal Gottschalk, and is one of your cases? Miss Medina? Or what jurisdiction is he from, I guess?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
All right. Well, go ahead and proceed with respect to defendants 2 and 3.
Okay, Your Honor. So with regards to Mr. Clark, again, also seeking a personal bond in this case, Your Honor, he does maintain stable residence on Batavia Street in River Rouge, Michigan, with his parents. He has one 12-year-old child. He is a lifelong resident of Michigan, Your Honor. He understands he needs to come to court and address this matter. My understanding is that he is not currently on probation or parole. He does work with adult care services and was expected to be at work, Your Honor. He hopes to be able to get back to work. He also recently started working with TPG, which is the company that cleans the stadiums here downtown. He indicates that he just began that employment, and his employment with the adult care services ranges approximately $430 monthly. So although he is employed, Your Honor, he is unable to post a monetary bond. We would ask that the court consider a personal bond in Mr. Clark's case as well. And finally, with regard to Mr. Jerkowitz, he also maintains stable residence in River Rouge, Michigan. He is 36 years old. He is also a lifelong resident of Michigan. He indicates that he has no criminal history. He's not currently on probation or parole, and he performed odd jobs, Your Honor. As such, his income varies significantly monthly. My understanding is that he is unable to post a monetary bond at this time, and that he does have pins and plates in his hip, which is a concern with regards to his prolonged incarceration, Your Honor. So we would ask that the court consider a personal bond as to each of this. We do as to each of these individuals. We do understand it's a serious matter. They understand they need to come to court, Your Honor, and address it.
If you have bad hips, why are you trying to break into homes? You obviously need to get out quick, correct? So, wasn't an issue before, or maybe it was an issue. That's why you got caught. Just saying.
All right, Officer Joshua Smith, do you have any comments with respect to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just recommend some type of form of insurance that they're going to come back to court. They have outstanding warrants. Mr. Clark does, as well as Mr. Dwight. Some form of monetary conditions, a tether or some sort, to make sure they come back to court, and to stay away from 391 and don't have any contact with the victim.
Okay. All right.
Oh, this guy next. Oh, he was a winner. We're not going to get to him because he makes me sick. Coming up, Colin after me.
Okay, this applies for all three of you all. The court's going to impose a $5,000 personal bond for all three of you. You're to have no contact with 391 Genesee Street, located in the city of River Rouge. You not to have any contact with the complaining witness, Sarah Maines. That's mean either via verbally, in writing, via email, via social media, no contact whatsoever. And to ensure that you come to court for your court dates, which I'll be stating in a minute, each of the three of you all will be fitted with a GPS tether with only restrictions, no contact with the 300 block of Genesee Street in the city of River Rouge. Your probable cause conference date will be July 25th, 9 a.m. Your right to preliminary examination, August 1st at 9 a.m. at 25th District Court. Do any of you have any questions regarding your bond conditions and or court dates?
No.
Okay, anything else, Ms. Medina?
Sorry, Your Honor. No, thank you very much.
What the hell did she have on her keyboard to hit unmute? Jesus.
Okay.
Took you so
Three
long.
of you can step aside. Have a good day.
Love this judge. Love him. Love him. Love him. Okay, here we go. Let's get. This is a goodie. I got a little Judge Cameron. Love Judge Cameron. And then I got a little main eventer. And then we're going to go to Colin. Definitely not Cromwell. His live. My man. All right, so let's do it to it first. I got a nice funny clip for us first. And then I have a nice little case for us. Let's go. Filling in for Judge Fink. Fink's on vacation too. Jessica Blanche. Judge Cameron. Oof. He's hardcore. He barks when he talks. I wouldn't mess with him. He's from the Judge Stevens tree. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone.
It's good.
Our first case is case number 23FB-1437. People of the state of Michigan versus Alicia and Monique Chancellor. Ms. Chancellor here.
Hello?
Says Jonathan Frontier, but that's not who she is.
Okay. Are you Ms. Chancellor?
Yeah, is my attorney present at all?
Yes.
No.
I've received a request for appointment of a public defender on your behalf.
Look underneath them.
Wait.
At all?
Yes.
No.
I've received a request.
Judge goes, yes. And then clerk goes, no.
For appointment of a public defender on your behalf.
Look underneath them.
So, Ms. Chancellor.
I also have an appearance by Raymond Burkett.
Yes.
Mr. Burkett is not present at this point.
Ms. Perini might have some information about that.
Ms. Perini, do you know anything about that?
Yes, good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny. So Mr. Burkett is unavailable. He's currently in trial, but he said he spoke with Ms. Blanche. They worked out an agreement for Ms. Chancellor, so I'll be standing in just for arraignment purposes, and Mr. Burkett will be appearing after today.
So don't sign it.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. Blanche. So is it my understanding that you and Ms. Chancellor's attorney have worked something out here?
Sorry, Judge, my computer completely froze. Were you speaking to me?
Yeah.
Jessica Blanche for the prosecutor's office, Judge. I spoke to Mr. Burkett this morning. We were asking for a $50,000 bond on this case. However, we're okay with her being released on a GPS tether. If she has an appointment with the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department at 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday, that needs to be part of her bond, that she must attend that meeting.
Why is that doing that behind my... Ugh. So annoying. Okay. Ugh.
Ms. Perini,
Water.
you heard Ms. Blanche. How do you want to proceed on the arraignment on this matter?
Sure, Your Honor, we will waive formal reading and stand mute. And as I said, Attorney Burkett arranged that with Ms. Blanche. We have no objection to GPS tether or that meeting on Monday being part of her bond. Mr. Burkett said he spoke with Ms. Chancellor about that, and she knows of that meeting as well.
Okay. So
Judge,
as I understand it,
sorry, there also needs to be
I'm
no.
sorry, go ahead, Ms. Blanche.
Sorry, Judge, there also needs to be a no contact order with the Martez Robinson.
That she got bond for.
Okay. All right, so as I understand this agreement you've reached with Mr. Burkett is that Ms. Chancellor will be released on personal recognizance with a tether, a GPS tether, but will be required to meet with the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department at 9 o'clock in person on Monday. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
And all other standard bond conditions, no assaultive behavior, all the standard bond conditions, Judge.
All right. And all the rest of the standard bond conditions will apply. All right. Who's going to? Are you going to convey this information to Burkett?
I will, Judge, and the date is July 17th at 9 a.m. And I have spoke to him this morning. He knows that he needs to appear there too. He's going to appear there as well at 9 o'clock. But I will also let him know I'm going to see him in about 20 minutes in circuit court. So I'll let him know.
Excellent. I just wanted to make sure that he was, apprised of all of this. Okay.
Is the GPS for tracking only?
Correct. Yes. There's no hot zones.
Who is that?
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Chancellor, Mr. Burkett is apprised of everything we've done here today. You're going to be released. You're going to have a GPS tether, and you have to report to the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office at 9 o'clock on Monday morning. Mr. Burkett will be there with you. I want to be sure you know all of that. Other than that, I think we're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, Ms. Blanche, for kind of running point on that one.
Judge, you're also, did you set a PCC date? I was at like I said, my computer shut off, but she's still going to need a PCC date for her charges.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, give me the date. July 20th, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Everything that could have possibly gone wrong in that little hearing did. All right. Only in this chat do we talk about nose picking day and ice cream day and Joe Biden all in the last 3 minutes. And it all makes sense somehow. Okay, we're going to Judge Magistrate Nicholas of Friend of the Court. And then we are going to hop on Colin. So Colin, get yourself ready, sir. This one is a goodie. Let's roll. Just got to skip to it. We saw that one already. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Money I make, name and phone. That's into Monday.
And here we go.
Requesting from the court and why you think the court should grant your request.
Well, I am requesting that my 5 kids be returned to me.
5.
I am their legal sole guardian. I'm the person that take care of them on a daily basis. The last time, just a little bit of what's going on, the last time that I actually physically saw my kids in person was Memorial Day. Aaron Jones' mom, Stephanie Jones, came to pick them up from me. And then he was supposed to have them for a week and then return them. But on that Thursday, he came across a picture of me on my social media and then tried to return the kids. And I told him no, because he had asked for them for a whole week. And then he threatened me with not returning them at all. And then the Monday came that he was supposed to return them and he withheld them from me. And it got to a point where I ended up having to serve him a PPO, a personal protection order. And once that happened, I was actually going through his mother as far as communication about our children, because Aaron Jones refused to communicate with me for the kids and co-parent. And so once he was served the PPO, he stopped his mom from communicating with me. And so I haven't actually spoken to my kids since the PPO was served. And then, but for the past week, since he was served the divorce papers, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday previous, for the past week, his mom has been calling me, unbeknownst to him from what she told me, so that I could speak to the kids, because she said in her words that she couldn't take withholding them from me anymore.
Okay, so let me ask a couple questions before there's a response. So was there a time that you guys were living together and stopped living together? When's the last time you guys resided together with the kids?
We were living together up until November of last year, when I had kicked him out for cheating.
Okay, so November 2022, you split up. Were you guys following a parenting time schedule after November of 2022?
No, actually, he didn't see the kids for 5 months straight until the ending of the 5th month, which would actually be right before we were to celebrate our 8-year anniversary, which was February 8th. And he got them for a weekend. And then after that, we kind of tried to work things out, but it didn't work out. And then I asked him to just co-parent with me, but he's making it very impossible to do that.
Okay, so when you say after February 8th, you try to work it out, were you trying to work it out as reconciling as a couple, or you're trying to work out parenting time?
We were trying to work out together for the kids.
Okay, and so when that didn't work, what were you guys following any kind of schedule?
I continuously reached out to Mr. Jones about trying to come up with a parenting schedule so we didn't have to go through all of the court proceedings and everything. And he refused to answer. And the only answer I would get was that he wanted them for 6 months at a time. And I was not in agreement with that, because like I said, I take care of them and do all the majority of major things that needs to be done.
So what did you guys do for February, March, April, and May before this alleged denial of or parenting time or taking the children?
The kids were with me, and he would get them on the weekends, and then they would come back to me. I'm sorry.
So every weekend. So every weekend from when to when?
From the time that we those during those months.
So are we talking Friday to Sunday, Saturday to Sunday, Friday to Monday? When?
Friday to Sunday.
So for February, March, April, and May, you were doing you would have Monday through Friday, him the weekends, and then he gets Memorial Day weekend and never returns them again.
Yes.
And how long were you guys together as a couple?
We were together for 8 years, married for 6.
Okay, so together 14 years. And while you guys were together
for 8 years.
Oh, okay. So you're together for 8 years. So prior to your separation in November, were you a stay-at-home mom? Were you both working? Who cared for the kids on it? What was your day-to-day routine?
No, actually, I was in school, but I was also working. And then I got I'm actually a certified patient care technician. And so I started working in my field, and then he started not helping to watch the kids. And so I had to then become an assistant teacher at a daycare so that my younger 2 kids could go to work with me, and while my older 3 kids were in school.
Okay. And during that time, was he watching the kids during the day sometimes and was caring for them of the day and doing all that, or no? That was never the situation.
No.
All right. Okay. And so what would you like to see the schedule be going forward?
Well, like I mentioned in the paperwork, I would like to have the kids Monday through Thursday until 6 p.m. because that's what time I get off work. And like I said, my younger 2 kids go to work with me, and I do not feel comfortable with him knowing where I work because of the PPO. So Monday through Thursday until 6 p.m. And then I am perfectly fine with meeting at a police station of your choosing so that we can do a switch off. And then he can have the kids from Thursday at 6 until Sunday at 7. And we can.
Let me ask this: what is the basis of the PPO? Where did the PPO get entered at?
I am currently in the middle of a Violence Against Women Act for moving because Mr. Jones continuously tried to break into my home at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he also popped up on several occasions in the morning time with a weapon. So.
Okay, so let me ask this, during your 8 years of relationship, was there violence in your relationship over the 8 years, or this is something new?
No, there was violence over the course of the years.
And so tell me about that.
We fought from the beginning. He's put his hands on me during 3 of my pregnancies. The last 2 pregnancies were the only pregnancies that he didn't put his hands on me. One fight was really bad to the point he ripped my shirt off. I actually made a police report about that. I do not know if it is still currently in the system. He threw me and my our oldest daughter that we shared together things in the trash, and my auntie and my cousin had to retrieve it. Just yeah.
When's the last?
Does Granny know her glasses fell off, or she's sleeping? What's going on there? Someone help me out, please.
Time there was any physical contact between you and him?
I can't even honestly tell you.
Are we talking weeks, months, years?
Okay, she's alive.
It's been a good couple of months now since the last time I've actually physically seen him, because during the drop-offs.
Well, no, I'm talking about when's the last time there's been any physical contact? Him, like you said, tearing his shirt or putting his hands on you, doing anything. When's the last time there's been?
About a year and a half ago.
And what happened a year and a half ago?
He came to my house and he wanted to use my phone charger. We were into it at the time and we weren't living together. And I told him he couldn't use my phone charger. He proceeded to follow me into my bedroom and he actually choked me up against my mirror. And we ended up fighting and broke my TV and everything.
Okay.
It may sound like a dick here, but why can't he borrow the phone charger? Like, just let him borrow it. Looks like we're kind of adding fuel, a little gaslight in there. Just give him the charge. You know he's a jerk. I mean,
did you guys ever have law enforcement involved in any kind of charges? Either one of you face any kind of domestic violence charges or anything of that nature?
I filed a couple of times against him, but it never went through.
Mm-hmm. And there was that, so a year and a half ago, you allege he choked you on the bed. Do you remember the time before that, before the year and a half ago?
It would have been when our oldest son was a baby, and he went through my phone while I was asleep on his couch. Once again, we were not together. I only ended up over there because my car had broke down on the freeway. And he went through my phone and he proceeded to actually throw our son at me. What? And then throw my son's car seat out the door. And at the time I had a rendezvous, and he proceeded to also break the front right side of my
She had a secret meeting with someone? Was she talking about the vehicle? Throwing the baby. I could probably, if it's true, I mean, this guy sounds like a monster.
My head.
So that would have been about, so that would have been 4 or 5 years prior to a year and a half ago. So that would have been 5-6 years ago.
My son is about to be 5, so yes.
So say.
Hope you're enjoying your trip. And thanks to Grim, guys, if you're in the Discord, Grim finally figured out the uploads. All my uploads will be, the link will be popped up as soon as I post it.
So
thank you, Grim.
So in the last 4 or 5 years, you had a year and a half ago and about 5 years ago. And those are the 2 physical incidences. And between that, there was no physicality.
Literally.
No, there's been other physical altercations. If I can speak on them right now, they're not coming to mind right now.
Okay. But a year and a half is the most.
This is your time to shine, to talk about the physical altercations, and you forget to say them. Starting to get a little Swiss cheesy there, Miss Jones.
Recent physical.
Yes.
And why am I asking these questions? Because you're proposing a joint.
Maybe tossing in Granny's on her way out again.
Joint custodial arrangement with him having weekends and you primarily the school week. And so you're not afraid of his care of the children, even though you've alleged violence against you. Is that, and so that's why I'm asking, you don't feel he's ever acted out towards the children? You're confident that it was only directed at you, or you have fears for his care of the children because you're proposing a joint arrangement? Does that make sense, the question I'm asking?
It does. I do have fear for my children. Actually, if I'm being completely honest, I really do, because I don't know where his mindset is at this point because of a lot of things he's been recently doing. So I don't know where his mindset is.
So what about his mom? What are your thoughts about grandma? Is his mom, you think she's a good grandma and loves the kids?
She is a great grandmother. I give props where props is due. She is actually the person that takes care of my kids when my kids are over there.
Okay, and what's grandma's name?
Stefina Jones.
Okay, and what city do you currently live in?
I am currently in East Point.
And sir, where are you at?
I'm in Detroit right now.
Okay, do you live with your mom or no, not with mom?
Yes, I'm with her right now. I'm actually looking for another place now.
Okay, so you're in East Point with your mom and the kids.
I'm in Detroit.
But is your mom, she said your mom lives in East Point, or does your mom
Oh
live
no,
in East Point?
you wanted to know where his mom lived at? I thought you asked where I was. No, his mom is in Detroit.
So he's in Detroit with his mom and you're in East Point.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So anything else you want to tell me, ma'am, before his counsel responds? Okay. And counsel, your response to everything?
Your Honor, if I may, voir dire Ms. Jones for just a minute with a couple of questions.
Yep, you're welcome to do so.
And Your Honor, there was a response filed. It was served on the court and emailed to you as well as Ms. Jones. Ms. Jones, do you suffer from bipolar disorder or schizophrenia?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay.
Whoa!
And have you had any?
Where did that come from? She was like, I give credit where credit is due. Granny's the best. Granny's turn. She wakes up and goes, are you bipolar? Are you schizophrenic? Granny with the smackdown, quick.
Nervous breakdowns that cause you to be a threat or danger to your children?
Oh my God.
No,
so if that were to be told to the court, that would not be true, is what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in the past 6 or 7 months, your children have primarily been with the father?
No, they have not.
Yeah, grandma's a lawyer.
And in those months, you're saying that you shared the custody of the children?
Not the past 6 months, but for the past couple of months, from February up to now.
You were actually sharing custody?
Yes. He
and
was
the father,
getting
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, he was getting them on the weekends.
Okay. And that was working out fine?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it true that you had family members that threatened Mr. Jones and threatened his life?
No, ma'am. And if you would allow me to speak on that, Mr. Jones, if there is anything as far as threats or anything being made towards him, Mr. Jones has made that decision on his own part, because Mr. Jones decided to share text messages with people's phone numbers exposed, as well as pictures of people with their kids on social media. I have nothing to do with whatever is being put towards him.
And you yourself are on social media quite a bit, is that correct?
I do have a Facebook and a TikTok, yes.
And it is you that Mr. Jones has accused of cheating on him, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So right now the issue is you're still legally married, correct?
Yes, it would technically be legally separated, but yes.
And you've not been awarded as the sole custodian of the children or the sole provider, have you?
Not yet, but I am the person that takes care of them on a daily basis, 24/7.
That may have been the case in the past, but Mr. Jones is quite capable of taking care of the children, isn't he? And has done so, is that correct?
No, ma'am. And I actually have text messages that could say otherwise from his own mouth as well as his mother's.
Your Honor, I have nothing further. I would just indicate that Mr. Jones, in his response, has indicated that the children have been with him the majority of the time. And I would pose the same questions you posed to Ms. Jones to my client,
Thanks,
Mr.
Char.
Jones.
OG Char.
Okay, so Mr. Jones, you've heard Ms. Jones. She said you guys were together till November. You left, didn't see the kids for about 5 months. Then in February, so February, March, April, May You were doing the weekends, Friday to Sunday, and she was doing Monday to Friday until you kept the kids Memorial Day. Is that not true?
That's not true. We was together when we separated. We separated April, I want to say April 10th of this year, because I went through her phone and I saw all kinds of messages with her and like 5 other guys that I have text messages of and pictures of. And instead of blowing up and losing my mind, I just left. Now I did.
So what? So your response is, you were there from November to February. She says you moved out in November. You're saying that's not true. You were living together all the way up to April.
All the way up until April of this year, like April 9th, because my daughter's birthday was the 14th. It was like April 9th, April 10th. I went through her phone, found all types of messages.
Okay, so regardless of that, you're saying she is not telling me the truth when she says you moved out in November. And guys, by the way, guys, I'm going to say this to both of you. This is a court of law. This case is going to play out. If you guys don't resolve this by consent, you'll end up in a trial. When I say you guys need to be really clear with your times and dates, because if one of you is not telling the truth and you get found to not be credible, once you lose credibility with the court, it's really hard to get it back. So if either one of you's got to correct your dates right now, tell me now. I won't take it as, you try to, but if someone's got to correct because someone's not telling me the truth, either we're both fudging the lines here because you both can't be telling the truth. She can't say you moved out in November and you're saying you moved out in April. One of you is not being forthright.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to point out that I'm not lying. I have no reason to lie. And for him to be now stating that he was with me until April, however, in his paperwork, he said that we've been separated and not living together for over 10 months. I'm not the one lying.
So, sir, you want to respond to that? She says that you said you haven't been together 10 months and it's not been 10 months since April.
I didn't say we haven't been together since 10 months. I said a couple of months.
Your paperwork says over 10 months.
Well, let me ask this. So, Mr. Jones, on a day-to-day basis, she said she primarily took care of the kids, that was not a role you had. So she said she was doing the cooking, cleaning, bathing, clothing, getting them ready during the day, watching them, taking 2 of them to daycare with her. How would you describe your day-to-day routine when you guys were together? Whether it's November or April, what were you guys doing? You have 5 kids.
On a day-to-day basis, I worked. I went to work. I came home. When I came home on my off days, we spent time like family time on off days. Or we would try and do things like family time on off days, like which is like a Saturday, maybe a Sunday. And then I would try to get my mother to watch the kids, and I would try and do things with her, but she can feel like, she can still have my attention.
So you agree though, during the work week, and guys, a lot of families, someone works, and so she was watching the kids during the day while you were at work. And what do you do for work, sir?
Her role was to go to school, get her degree, and take care of the kids and everything while I'm at work. And then while she's at school, I have.
Okay. So were you doing cooking, cleaning, and bathing too?
Yes.
And ma'am, you're saying no. So why hasn't Miss Jones seen the kids since Memorial Day?
Well, she do have a PP. She did put PPO out on me, so I couldn't have contact with her. However, my mother is the only person that we could go through to have contact with each other. And every time she tried to contact her, she would cuss at her and go off and everything. And then my mother didn't want to deal with it.
So when was the PPO entered? Where is the PPO out of? Who issued the PPO?
The PPO is out of Macomb County because that's where I reside right now.
Okay, so it's entered here out of this court. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, actually.
Does either one of you happen to have the PPO number? And when did that PPO get issued?
I can try to pull the PP up on my phone if you allow me to.
I'm sure she's got a lot of PPs on that phone.
How long ago did that get entered?
That got served about 3 weeks ago. It was right before he got served the divorce papers.
And who did the PPO? Was that someone other than Judge Jennings?
That was an actual officer that served him the PPO papers.
No, but who issued it? Who signed the personal protection, or what judge signed it? You guys know? There should be a name on it.
Give me one.
It's a Terry L.
That's
Dennings.
Terry Lynn Dennings is your judge. So it went to her for the PPO too. So she's and did you got it, sir? If you got it, I'll take it.
Yes, the case number, it says 2023-002319-PP.
Okay. Yep. And is there any plans to contest that or try to get that overturned?
Yes, I'm trying to contest it.
And does the PPO bar any contact whatsoever? So there's all a bunch of boxes on a PPO. Sometimes the judge will just say no assaulting, beating, molesting, no communication other than parenting time, or it can have everything marked and you can't talk to each other at all. Do you guys have everything marked?
Everything is marked.
Everything is marked until October.
Okay. So you're not, I don't hear you saying that she's a bad mom or a threat to the kids. Am I correct in that? Since she was watching when you were at work and vice versa, she must not be a threat of harm to them, or am I wrong?
Well, she's not a bad mom, but she do have times to where like she'll pass out. She'll have times to where she blacks out and then she'll like start breaking stuff and throwing stuff, and she
But that never stopped you from going to work and letting her watch the kids, right?
It did, because it was times to where I had to leave work. I had to leave work at times and I had to come home, and then I lost a lot of jobs because I had to leave work. So I had
How often do you have to leave? How often do you have to leave work to come home?
Yes, Flair.
I want to say like 3 times a week.
Every week? And how did you know to come home? She'd call you or what?
She'll call me and she'll be crying and she'll be like, you need to come get the kids. They can't be near me right now, and things like that. And I'll just explain it.
So Ms. Jones, do you want to respond to that? He's saying that you've had, in his response to the motion, that you've had some depression, mental health, counseling or treatment caused by bipolar disorder, and you'd call him and he'd have to come home.
Your Honor, that is not true at all. And actually, in fact, when anything would actually go wrong, I actually would not call him. It would be his mother that I would call, because Mr. Jones likes to ignore me and send me to voicemail a million and one times. And Mr. Jones did not have to call off work, nor did he lose any of his jobs because of me. They were all
what is okay. So he's just making this all up.
If you want me to be completely honest with you, Judge, Mr. Jones knows that the only thing that I care about as far as me and him goes is our kids. And that is the only thing that I want is my kids. So Mr. Jones knows the only way to hurt me is through my kids.
Interesting.
Your Honor, may I inject?
Go ahead.
Inject.
You mentioned credibility.
Go ahead.
The pleading that I prepared, any error as to months of separation.
A lot of sexual talk going on. No wonder they get 30 kids.
Was probably on my part from my notes not being correct, but that does not besmirch Mr. Jones's credibility, because I've only had a short time to speak with him since Monday when he was served. So I would ask you to rely on my clients.
Well, I would reiterate,
my grandma.
Guys, listen. I'll reiterate. Guys, listen. I'll reiterate the same thing to the parties. And this goes to you, Mr. Jones. Your attorney can only represent what you disclose to your attorney. If you disclose something that's not true, she's going to represent what you tell her. And that might get you in trouble if you're not telling her the truth. I'm going to say to both of you, you guys are telling very different stories. It's very difficult right now for the court at the start of this to have people tell polar opposite stories, because it means somebody's not telling the truth. So it means somebody might be minimizing, somebody exaggerating, or somebody is the one who's really not telling the truth. In the long run, that usually doesn't work out, because like I said, as this case plays out and there's investigations, if you're found to be the one that's not telling the truth, once you lose credibility with the court, it's really hard to get back. So you guys, when you present issues to the court, you got to be as accurate as possible. Nobody's perfect. So I don't expect anyone to make their life seem perfect and everything's okay. If you're in counseling, let me know. If you're on medications, let me know. If you struggled with something here or there, or depression, or, and it just as example, alcohol, you haven't made those allegations. But if someone has substance abuse, be honest about it, because these things happen in life. The concern is that you acknowledge whatever issues you have, you're receiving treatment or working to improve those so you can be the best person for yourself and the best parent for your children. But right now, we're at the start of this and everybody wants to be like the other person's. It's hard for me to figure out where exactly the truth lands. But right now I have a mom who hasn't seen the kids for a long time, and that doesn't seem appropriate. She was the child care provider when you were at work, and this stuff will all play out. So you guys, you're going to be referred for an investigation. And sir, what's your mom's name?
Athena Jones.
Oh, okay, you already told me. And ma'am, you get along okay with his mom or no?
Yes.
And so, ma'am, you're moving residences right now, or what's your living situation?
I currently live with my aunt until I move into my next house.
Okay, because guys, at some point, if you're sharing joint custody, you guys got to know where each other's at, right? But you guys have no contact. Is there someone that can facilitate parenting time exchanges?
Your Honor, I actually do have somebody that I was already using when his mom would do the pickup and drop offs. I would have my aunt take my kids out to his mom.
And who's your aunt?
Her name is Martray Johnson.
Martray, how do you spell her first name?
Martray.
Okay. Johnson. And
Yes.
That's somebody you both know. And sir, what's your thoughts about Miss Johnson? Is that someone?
No, because she always try to start drama every time.
What does that mean?
She's messy. Like I don't know how to explain.
What does messy mean, guys? I don't know. That's not a technical term. What's messy mean?
Well, Your Honor, if he's not comfortable with my aunt, I've also, during the preceding time of him withholding my kids, I've also reached out to his first kid's mom, who I am actually very good friends with. And
he doesn't want she's messy.
I even tried to have her do the switch offs, and he told her to stay in her lane. So so
guys, you guys have to take a breather and take a step back. So both things might not be perfect, but someone might not, enjoy both, babies, mothers getting together, ex-wives, it's your more power to you. It's freedom of speech, but people might be hesitant to have interplay between two different situations. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I am inclined to do a temporary joint with the schedule as set forth as proposed by Ms. Jones, with her having Monday, Monday to Friday, and him Monday to Thursday, and him Thursday to Monday.
Thursday to Sunday.
Your Honor, Thursday to Monday would be a complete joint. If it's going to be Monday to Thursday, it should be Thursday to Monday.
Well, that's like one would have 4, one would have 3. I mean, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is 3.
7 days in a
or
week.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday to Sunday. That's him 3, her 4, him 4, her 3. And guys, just so you know, I'm a referee, not a judge. So you always have 21 days to object, and this may up in front of the judge, and she'll decide if she wants to uphold my objection, my order, or change all or part of it. That's within her power.
And Your Honor, may I say for the record that I object on behalf of Mr. Jones that the mother's using the term withhold the children, because they are equal. They are equal parents. They're legally married. They're equal parents.
But she hasn't seen the kids in how many days? So whether you want to call it withholding or not, he hasn't permitted any contact between the kids and mom. So that would seem to be some form of withholding, guys.
Well, Your Honor, my understanding is that the mother, during the school year, the mother was transporting the children, and they were meeting to return the children to the father. So that's my understanding of what happened. So if that's the case, she was seeing the children. She was assisting in their transportation.
All right. So, and sir, what's your work schedule like? What time do you work from when to when? And is your mom available to assist in transfers, or her, Ms. Jones, transfer to your mom's? And you live there, so you guys can't come into contact, or you'll be in violation of the PPO. So how are we going to effectuate parenting time exchanges so you guys don't run afoul of the PPO.
Yeah, and I'm currently getting unemployment right now. I had to schedule some things around the kids.
So if I do with her,
how could you not have a job and have 5 kids? I don't know. It's
with you Thursday at 6 to Sunday at 7, how would you effectuate those transfers?
I have no idea because we don't have nobody I would have to go through my mother.
She's not available to do it.
Yeah, she's available.
That's what he was asking, Mr. Jones, if your mother was available.
Oh yeah,
you
available.
Guys can't. So I'm just trying to figure out a way that you guys don't have to come into contact. Ms. Jones, how would you like to see transportation work? So Thursdays at 6, Sundays at 7. How do you want to do it?
I would be comfortable with if his mom and my aunts can meet to do the exchanges.
Well, you can meet his mom too. I mean, it's just he can't be. You guys can't come together.
Okay, that's fine. I can meet his mother somewhere to do the exchanges, or she's more than welcome to bring the kids to my aunt's house. The PPO is against him. He's not supposed to come in contact. So I'm more than fine with how it was before with his mom doing the pickups or drop-offs.
Okay. All right. So guys, I'm going to do a recommendation, the temporary order to the court. You both have 21 days to object. It is your right under the law. You don't get in trouble for objecting. I don't get mad and the judge doesn't get mad. Add an objection here, and the Honorable Terry Lynn Dennings will decide if she wants to uphold my order or change all or part of it. And her decision as the judge is the final say.
And
so my recommendation.
This is a joint interim custody.
I'm going to make I'm going to issue my rec right now. I'm going to dictate my rec right now.
Okay, thank you.
How would I? How would I get them back?
What do you mean?
Meaning once I drop her off, like once my mother dropped them off, and like how will we get like far as
so your mother does the exchanges, or you guys agree to a mutually third party in addition to your mom who will assist you?
And then also I do have another concern because all her family members are like gang members, and I don't want my kids around that.
So guys, if someone commits a crime, call the police.
What?
Okay.
So guys, I'm not going to take for granted that you as parents, when you used to live together, you were married together 8 years, and she provided childcare and you went to work, that suddenly now she's a total danger to your children, or you are. It's not going to work that way. You guys were together. You've had incidents that are unfortunate. So, but I'm not going to go based on theories that somehow her family members, if her family members get involved, I'm going to say to her, it can affect her custody case. If your family members get involved, it can affect your position. You need to tell your family, stay out of it. It's not going to help. Your families are attacking you on social media. It's going to be attributed to you. So if you say, well, I can't control my family, friends, relatives, and it's not on me. Well, it is going to be on you guys. It's your job to tell your family and friends and acquaintances, stay out of my custody case, no matter how you feel about it, because you're going to affect my rights. So don't be threatening people. Don't be, coming up on them, rolling up on them, brandishing weapons. If you have a weapons permit, don't be doing that stuff.
What the hell?
I mean, or it's going to reflect on you guys. You guys, just a second. You cannot say, not my fault, I can't control my family. No, you got to control your family and friends and say, stay out of it. That's how it works. And ma'am, you wanted to say something before I made my rec?
Yes, actually, that is false information. None of my family is trying to do anything to him. And actually, he constantly reaches out to my family, talking to my family.
Well, guys, there's freedom of speech. If you talk to your family members respectfully, or his baby mom from another relationship, or his ex, I can't control freedom of speech as long.
That was the whitest way of saying baby mama. Baby mom.
As long as it's respectful. If you guys break the law, you break the law, and your family or friends, or you call the police, and people face charges. I assume people are going to follow the law and not threaten each other and break the law. So if it's happening, make sure it stops. And if it's not, then you have nothing to worry about. Right?
And then I do have a question.
You got to go fast because I got to wrap this up.
What is there anything that I would like me to submit for the investigation as far as me?
Once you'll get a contact. you'll get contacted by I don't give legal advice. You present to the investigator once that gets scheduled, whatever information you think is relevant for them to look at. And you guys, they'll send out questionnaires to both of you with questions they want answered and stuff. So you'll take that up with the investigator. So again, my recommendation, the temporary order is as follows. The parties shall share temporary joint legal and physical custody of their 5 minor children, ranging from ages 1 through 7. Is that correct, guy? 1 through 7?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. 2, on a temporary basis, plaintiff mother shall have parenting time every Sunday from 7 p.m. until Thursday at 6 p.m. with defendant father having parenting time every Thursday from 6 p.m. to Sunday at 7 p.m. So guys, obviously that's the reverse of that.
Only what, 3 days?
3.
That leaves me with what, like 3 days?
Okay.
Yep. So guys, it's a 4-3 split. One has 4, one has 3. That's if
That
you
would
don't
be
like it, talk to
7.
your attorney and you can
That would be 7.
file objections.
So can I
Guys,
have
I'm making my rec. This isn't a debate or question and answer session. I'm doing my rec. Like chit chat's done. We're done. Sorry. I'm making my rec. I'm not
It's
going to further
temporary,
debate it.
Mr. Jones, and
And so you're going to talk to counsel and you're going to decide if you want to object. Guys, again, people get afraid of objecting. You don't get in trouble for objecting. It's your right. Judge isn't going to get mad at you. So if you want to see what the judge would do, have a conversation with counsel and decide if you want to object. That's why I say, I don't get mad. She doesn't get mad. It's your right. The
Be
worst
safe,
that can happen
monkey.
is she doesn't agree with you.
Be safe.
But it's your right. So if you want to see the judge, then within 21 days, you're going to get objection procedure. You're going to file objections, either one of you, and see if the judge feels differently. And she's the boss. So if she wants to change what I did, that's within her power to do that. Okay. So 3, as there is currently a PPO between the parties pursuant to Macomb case 2023-002319 PP, which prevents any contact between the parties. Plaintiff's mother, another mutually agreed third party shall assist in effectuating parenting time exchanges. So let me ask this. When I referred for an investigation, I usually have our process is facilitation and then an investigation. However, as there is domestic violence alleged by one or both of you, I cannot force you to facilitate. It's also, you might hear it referred as mediation. I can't force you to do that unless you want to do that. Because the point is that's a sit down via Zoom.
Marshmallow.
Sorry guys, we do it via Zoom. You won't have to come in person to help you try to work it out. If you don't feel, Ms. Jones, that you can comfortably express yourself, then you don't have to do it. I can't make you do it. Do you think that would be beneficial to have a sit down to try to work it out with a facilitator, or you don't want to do that? It's up to you.
I want no as minimal contact with him as possible. No contact.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to indicate that the matters of custody and parenting are referred for investigation and recommendation only, as domestic violence has been alleged, and the fee should be split equally between the parties. Okay.
Okay. All right. Here we go. That was great. Judge Silverfox was on it. Granny/lawyer was sleeping, had a mustache, and this was very mellow, but quite aggressive. Mr. Jones has a little attitude towards him with that sweater vest shirt he's got going on that's probably attached. Probably ripped off the bow tie that was stuck to the shirt as well. Okay, here we go, guys. Make sure you go check out Colin, definitely not Cromwell. He's on right now. He's live. You know he's got good clips because he has our sense of humor. He's a good dude. He's trying to get off the YouTube off and running, get the algorithm going. Thank you for everything. Thanks for the donos. Thanks for the support. God bless. I'm going to try to get over to Colin, but I have not seen my daughter or the fam all day because I am taking content for you. So I am tired. I'm going to take a little break. I will see you guys Monday. If not, definitely a premiere. But I'm Phil, and you have been served.